He said, bro, that was not only the best barbecue I've ever eaten, but literally the best food I've ever eaten. So this thing to me is like a flavour grenade.
The texture's so different to a scone. Flaky and crunchy throughout.
8.9.
Let's go. Welcome to episode 70 of the undefeated, undisputed, underseasoned barbecue show.
That was very UFC-like.
Yeah, mate, UFC a couple of weeks back. Thought I'd keep it in the spirit of things, but to follow that up with a pretty sick introduction, I would imagine.
Let's jump into it.
Up here, we're down here at the Burn Bean Company, baby! Here in Black's Austin.
Dallas Fish Barbecue.
From Smoke Queen Barbecue.
Leroy and Lewis Barbecue in Austin, Texas. California.
24 hours a day.
Smashing some brisket. Brisket was sensational. Texas Smoke Queen #1.
Check these out. Stop playing, dude.
Stop it. And you're watching the Underseasoned Barbecue Show. Let's go! G'day, guys.
I'm in you, Ernest.
So that's our good friend Chop, and he just did a US barbecue road trip, and he visited Smoke Queen Barbecue, Leroy and Lewis, Style Switch, and the Burnt Bean Co.
Yeah, bloody oath he did. He took the kids over and they ate their way through the States. I was very jealous. I tried to avoid him because I was sitting at my desk enduring the Aussie summer while he was over there really sampling the best of the wares.
Yeah, well, he did really well because he hit some of the best spots in Texas.
Yeah, that's it. It was a bit of a whirlwind tour, but yeah, man, looks like a super amount of fun.
Right, well, thanks to everyone for participating in that, but I did ask him, how good was Burnt Bean Co? And this is what he said. He said, bro, that was not only the best barbecue I've ever eaten, but literally the best food I've ever eaten.
That's a big mic drop right there.
That's a big call. Ever. Best food ever, not just barbecue. So, look, congratulations to the Burnt Bean Co. What an awesome experience for him and the kids. They went to New York as well and then got to Texas and road tripped barbecue joints.
Bloody oath they did. Sensational, as he would say.
Let's jump into it. What is in this episode?
Mate, we're going to experience a bit of cheesesteak science. We've got failed or nailed. We're going to go down the route of what we think is the perfect pizza. And we've also got guess the price.
Oh, I like guess the price. Let's jump into our dishes of the week. And this one caught my eye for all the right reasons. And this is a sausage posted by Truck Norris Texas Barbecue out of New Zealand. And he says #2 sausage for 2026. And it's a 100% beef-based black garlic, black truffle seasoning, jalapeno and cheese sausage.
Hell yeah. Matt Peckersgill over there, based down south near Christchurch, really jumping on the sausage train. And pretty much as we speak, the weekend just gone, he's hosted a couple of sausage masterclasses with none other than Bill Dumas, the sausage sensei. So he did one of his classes last year and has obviously been hooked, line and sinkered, reeled all the way in. And yeah, I mean, results like that, why wouldn't you?
That is one of the most stunning cross-sections of a sausage I think I've ever seen. It's packed in tight. The colours are crazy. It's all beef, but yeah, it's got that black truffle there to give it the colour, and it's sensational. And it's got the Bill Dumas touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And he's read the narrative and he knows that the snap is 2025 and it's all about that half cross-section.
Yeah, he's followed the brief.
Bloody oath he has.
And not to be outdone, but if this was #2, what was #1?
#1 was pretty bloody special.
Well, this is it now. This is the #1 sausage that he made for 2026, and this is the lamb Dubai chocolate sausage.
Yum. I really want to try this. When he dropped this on the old gram a couple of months ago, I was like, wow. But it was one of those things too where the Dubai chocolate craze went nuts about 12 months ago and they were putting it in everything. No one did a sausage, well, not that I saw, and it just made sense when I saw it.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. So it's a 100% lamb base, pistachio cream, toasted katafi, chopped pistachios, a cocoa chili ancho, and a chili guajillo.
Yum.
That's sensational.
Mate, you're not putting that in a bit of bread with some pickles. You're just going to just chop that up and enjoy it.
So he says, lamb and pistachio, it's a match made in heaven. Blend that with the earthy cocoa and chili, and it is mind-blowing.
Yeah, Adam Roberts approves.
Well, I love the fact that he is doing that cross-section because I feel like you can see more of the sausage.
Bloody oath you can. And as someone explained to me a couple of weeks ago, anyone can overcook a snag and make the cheese pop out during the snap. But yeah, revealing the cross section and showing the even consistency of the cook is the real challenge.
But it's also the even consistency of the ingredients that you put in it as well, and how densely it's packed.
Yeah, that's it. There's lots of butcher shops these days that are sort of getting a bit famous on the TikTok and that for just coming up with crazy sausage ideas, but they're not bringing out premium links like this.
No, this is sensational work. Well done.
That's it.
Okay, this next one was posted by Chad Klops, and these are cheesesteaks.
Yeah, they are.
These are amazing. So it's sharp ploverone and cheese whiz with Calabrinan chilies on a Publix deli white sub roll, which looks to me to be pretty similar to a Vietnamese roll.
Bloody oath it does, mate. Yeah, they look fantastic. I'm not a massive cheese fan, but I would absolutely bathe in that.
So he said he used Heritage Store ribeye shaved, and he said you can go to the custom meat deli at any Publix and they will shave it for you. So you basically buy it in like a log and then take it to the deli, they shave it for you.
So they shave it raw for you?
I think so.
They might have a different section for cured meats and cold meats. But anyway, if you know, let us know. But there's no denying that looks fantastic.
So when I went to Philly, you had to go to Pat's King of Steaks, and right across the road was Gino's Steaks. And I had one of each, and they just had way too much cheese whiz in them, both of them. All I could taste was cheese whiz. And to be honest, the best thing was the actual pizza next door. But this looks like, to me, the perfect amount of cheese whiz. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you want more cheese whiz than this, or is that a appropriate amount?
I reckon that's an appropriate amount because you're letting the real ingredients do the talking. I mean, I reckon there's guys out there that just overload it with the cheese to sort of hide the fact they might not be using a premium product. Do the old kill them with the quantity, not the quality style going on, but this is all quality to me.
Yeah. So on this cheesesteak thing, it's a bit of a culinary paradox because if you leave meat on a grill, especially when it's thin, you're going to overcook it pretty quickly, and then you're going to be eating a shoe. But the Philly cheesesteak, it defies the law of the grill, because if you go to a good Philly cheesesteak place, they've got piles of meat. It's piled up for 10, 20, 30 minutes, and it's still tender.
Yeah, maybe it's got something to do with the onions. It might be sort of just either caramelising or steaming away while they're there. But yeah, you would imagine something, you know, as fickle as beef potentially drying out or going way too overcooked. But, I mean, these guys, they do a bloody good job.
So I don't really know either. And I went looking, and a good cheesesteak uses ribeye or top round, sliced thin, and the initial contact on the heat creates that char that you can see there. And then it gets steamed in fat, which actually braises the meat. So the meat is cooking in its own juices and fats and keeping it tender, and they call it steam grilling.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Never heard of it. So long story short, if you want a really good cheesesteak, find and make friends with Chad Klops, who did this amazing cheesesteak here, or head to the Reading Terminal Market in Philly. There's some really good ones in there too.
That's it. Tell him Jay sent you.
Next, this is a showstopper.
Wow.
This is a dish by Panther City Barbecue. It's a Texas Monthly top 10 barbecue joint, and this is one of the dishes that actually put these guys on the map.
It's a barbecue Sundae.
Oh, yeah, it is too.
Fucking oath it is.
So it's Mexican street corn, but sort of more of like a corn chowder. It starts with a base of creamy, cheesy corn made with heavy cream, cream cheese, and Mexican shredded cheese.
Jesus.
It's then topped with brisket, heavy on the bark, loaded with fresh jalapenos, Mexican hot sauce, crushed flamin' hot Cheetos crumbled, but I can't really see that on the picture there, but it also has a crumbled queso fresco and cilantro and a squeeze of lime.
Yeah, no lemon or mint on that one, mate.
So this thing to me is like a flavour grenade.
Yeah, to me, though, I'm looking at the logistics of it. Like the first spoonful, you're pretty much going to have to sacrifice a bit of it going down the front of you or onto the tray. But once you sort of work those levels down and you can mix it all together, wow.
This is the modern day male version of I've got an ice cream, I've got an ice cream. But it's not. It's a brisket loaded elote.
Bloody oath it is. How good does it look? That's all your food groups right there.
But if you think about it, the brisket, the corn, the heavy cream, the cheese, the lime, it's all impactful flavours put together, and it seems to work.
Yeah, that's it. You're going to have a moment for to let your taste buds catch up after you've eaten that, I reckon.
We want to see somebody do these at Meatstock, I reckon.
Jesus.
That could be a challenge for someone in Fire Kitchen.
Yes, that'd be a great fire kitchen dish, wouldn't it?
Great, perfect.
Sick.
Someone's got to pick that up. We'll push someone into it.
Gauntlet thrown down.
Let's move on to the video of the week here. Now, you sent this to me and it was posted by Porter and Rye, and it's a steakhouse in Scotland. And we're going to play the video and you are going to talk me through what's happening. Let's watch.
Righto. So when I sent you this, I started watching it, and at first I was like, what is this guy doing? So he's taken the middle out of that beautiful big bone-in ribeye. He's tenderising it now, and this is a real trust the process part. So he's layering heaps of Scotch whiskey down. He's then marinating some haggis with the same Scotch whiskey, and he's putting it all down into that, I guess, butterflied out piece of meat, and he's forcing it back into the steak now, and he's got a beautiful, nice big standing rib roast, or he's cutting it up into individual steaks. But look at this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-day dry-aged bone-in ribeye. The centre is then cut out. It's rolled out, hammered flat, and then loaded with haggis and Highland Park 12-year-old Scotch whiskey before putting it back together and aging it for another 2 days before they cook it up in the restaurant.
Crazy.
Wild. And this is the result. So for those wondering, haggis is made from heart, liver, lungs, and the hard fat around the kidneys, all bonded together with oats and onions and stock, and it's seasoned with salt and pepper, nutmeg, mace, allspice, and the whiskey.
Yum.
This does something for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you're going to have to go to a pretty special place to experience, I would imagine. And yeah, these guys obviously think out of the box because they've taken a beautiful dry-aged ribeye and thought, how can we mess with this and make it something different, but also keeping the integrity of this beautiful cut of meat intact?
I agree. So this is epic work by Porter and Rye out of Glasgow in the United Kingdom. It's absolutely sensational, but haggis is not my thing.
You'd eat it though.
I probably would, but it did get me thinking, like, can we elaborate on this idea?
Tell me more.
So what about a beef, cheese, and jalapeno sausage stuffing, like a Texas-style sausage stuffed ribeye?
So technically you've now turned the ribeye into the sausage casing.
Probably. Or a sausage sensei inspired Costa Rican coffee and cocoa style sausage with toasted pecans. Wrap that back in the meat, shove that in there. That's where I would want to be.
What about a internal steak fritz?
You could do it with anything.
You could, couldn't you? I don't have deep enough pockets to be experimenting with this type of grated meat, but anyone out there wants to give it a try, see what you can come up with.
Yeah, well, if anyone can do this at home and come up with their own flavour of sausage and then repeat this process, we'd love to see it and feature it on the show, because I just think this is the tip of an iceberg.
Yeah, bloody oath. I mean, I've seen a few things where they like do a pork lasso and stuff like that with the big pork loin, but never seen it done with a ribeye.
I've never seen it done with beef before. And I will say, as much as I love a good steak, when you get a really thick cut of ribeye like that, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. I love it. But by the time you kind of get through it, it's kind of repeating the same process every bite, right? If you had some differences in flavours as you went through it, like a bit of a cross-section, I reckon it'd be even more enjoyable.
It wouldn't just be flavours either. Like there's going to be, different textural experiences here too, like you hit a bit of pecan or something like that. And yeah, I'm excited.
So am I. What we need to do is get a sponsor for the show so we can buy this kind of quality of meat and make this happen.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, someone like, I don't know, Jack's Creek. We've mentioned them before, haven't we? Jack's Creek out of Tamworth. They do great beef.
Who are they?
Jack's Creek.
Oh, Jack's Creek.
Yeah, Jack's Creek.
Out
Good,
of Tamworth.
good beef out of Tamworth. I mean, if they want to sling some meat and money our way, we'd be happy to experiment and see what sort of rabbit hole we can get down. So Jack's Creek, Tamworth, ring him.
Where are they again?
Tamworth.
Tamworth, really good. Let's move on to guess the price. And before you guess the price, I want you to guess where this platter of barbecue is from. Ready?
Righto. Oh, it's the famous blue tray from Franklin's, I believe.
So this one was posted by Horwitzer, and it was taken, you're correct, at Franklin Barbecue. And he says, after several 15-hour days at a conference in San Antonio, I was driven by a once-in-a-lifetime ambition. So what I want you to do is look at this tray and guess how much did he spend?
Geez, there's a fair bit going on. I mean, you've got your 5 meats there. You've got, more than that. There's beef rib, brisket, burnt hens, 2 types of sausage, some pork ribs, some turkey, a couple of sides, a couple of napkins. I mean, you'd be looking around about 120, 150 US, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of meat, right? There's a beef rib on there. There's tons of brisket. You've got turkey, pork ribs, sausage, a lot of sides. It cost him $300 USD.
Jesus. That's a fair fucking whack.
But it's not all what it seems. So he had to take a 75-minute Uber from San Antonio to Austin, which cost him roughly $100 each way. So the barbecue itself, the meat and the sides, was approximately $110 USD before tax and tip. That's great value.
It is great value, but also too, you could probably have the Uber account hooked up to the work credit card and they can look after that and you just share the spoils of the journey.
So he said he couldn't eat it all, but he was told at Franklin Barbecue that it was TSA approved. So he took the leftovers in his backpack through a long flight across the country to his wife, who after eating it finally got why he went out of his way to such insane lengths and costs to eat at Franklin Barbecue.
Wow, that's pretty good for some reheated barbecue for her to understand that it's worth it.
Well, I think the story goes he told her what he wanted to do and she was like, this is crazy, it's too far, it's too much money, it's a ridiculous amount of money to spend on barbecue. But once he had it marinating in his suitcase or his backpack or wherever it was stored and got it home, she swiftly changed her mind.
Yeah, bloody oath. He'll be taking her next time, I would imagine.
Rightio. New segment.
Buckle up.
The perfect pizza. So, me and you, we love pizza. I mean, we love barbecue, but we really love pizza.
Fucking oath, we love pizza.
And I've asked you to send me a picture of what you believe to be the perfect pizza, and me and you are going to have a pizza off, and anyone watching at home becomes the judge.
Righto. Team J or Team Sigh?
This is your pick. It's a pizza by Maker Pizza. They're located in Toronto in Canada, and they're famous for a pizza called the Dr. Pepperoni. But this isn't it. This is the real pep god, and it is the Dr. Pepperoni, but with fresh herbs and a fine dusting of fennel powder, and it looks sensational.
Looks fantastic. And also, too, had about 5 minutes to get this photo to Jay, so this is some very quick research. I mean, I've been frothing these guys for years. It was a bit of a toss-up between Maker Pizza, Sizzle Pie, and Hot Tongue in LA, but, I mean, these guys got me in love with the small pepperoni cups.
Yeah, the little cup ones.
Yeah.
So Maker Pizza was founded in 2015 by Shlomo Butchler and celebrity chef Matty Matheson. You've got a bit of a hard-on for Matty.
The big dog.
So if I had to describe this pizza that you've picked here as the best pizza on the planet, it's a bit of a New York / Neapolitan style hybrid pizza.
I would agree.
To me, it looks a little bit more New York than it does Neapolitan. I'm going to guess it's got a bit of a stiffer undercarriage. It looks like it's cooked in a brick oven. I mean, it's good, but is it going to be better than mine?
Well, for me it is. But see, my romance with pizza started way back in the days. You know, Pizza Hut was the only franchise of pizza you could get in Tassie that wasn't, your corner store. I remember the first time I ever had a deep pan pizza from Pizza Hut where it's got the really crunchy base but yet still a soft doughy middle. That's what I love about pizza. Then the Ninja Turtles movies come out and they're eating those real floppy bits of New York cheese pizza. And this to me is a bit of a happy medium between the thin New York slice and a bit of a doughy base.
Okay. Well, you've hit the best of all the worlds there, I think, in this pizza.
I've tried my best.
This is my pick, and it's a pizza from Sonny's, and they are from West Hollywood in California. So Sonny's is a bit of an underground pizza phenomenon. They started off with secret links, and now it's moving into its own bricks and mortar storefront in the heart of West Hollywood.
There are way too many fresh jalapenos on that pizza for me to think that that's your fucking goat.
So these guys have made 29 posts, and they have 29,000 followers.
That's a good ratio.
It's a great ratio. And this is a pepperoni jalapeno heater. That's what it's called. But I think I need to rename it because it's more like a pepperoni jalapeno heater.
Yeah, there's a bit going on. I mean, I'd towel that right up. I love it. But looks like they're hitting it for a second time with a double burn of the hot honey there, mate. So I hope you got your Gaviscon.
So I'm not about the hot honey. Get rid of the hot honey for me. But this is a bit of a New York thin crust style, and I think it's called the Neo New York LA hybrid style. So it's sauce heavy. It's got those cut pepperonis that me and you like, fresh jalapeno, mozzarella, and it's been given a snowing of pecorino romano.
Does look bloody good.
A little bit more thin base than yours.
Yes, but perfectly cooked, nice consistency of the toppings there. But I wouldn't have picked you to have a jalapeno heavy pizza on your top of the list.
I love the spicy. I don't like the sweet, but I love the spicy.
Yeah, right.
So it's a slow dough process. Fermenting is 48 to 72 hours. There's no flop. It's got the soul of Italy, the heart of America, the heat of Mexico. They often finish it drizzled with hot honey, but personally, I would skip that hot honey. This is my perfect pizza.
Look out.
So, big question.
Who's the winner?
Who wins?
They're pretty fucking similar, but
They are very similar. Very similar style, similar base. I think yours is slightly a little bit thicker than mine, a little bit more Napolitan style. Mine's a little bit more New York. You look handsome there, by the way.
who's this guy?
It's my twin brother. So look, in the comments, who wins? Does Sigh and Make a Pizza win, or do I win with Sonny's? Leave your vote in the comments. We've got a bit of a picture up to illustrate our two pizzas.
Yeah, bloody oath. If only it was real.
I bet you Katie wants to know that number of that guy, by the way.
He's about 10 kilos lighter than me, so.
Now, before we move on, this is another pizza by Make a Pizza, and that's cut pepperoni, jalapenos, red chilies, and sesame seeds on the crust. You might have missed a trick here. That looks great.
Yeah, a bit too much veggies on there for it to be my goat. I mean, I'd love a slice of this, but we talk about it all the time. Like, this is a conversation we have a lot, and it's not just about pizza. It's like if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life. These sorts of pizzas come up in that conversation. So that's how much we talk about it. But this looks fantastic, and I'd eat the shit out of it. But this is more of a treat, not an everyday occasional pizza for this one for me. But yeah, this is still fantastic.
By the slice.
By the slice, yeah.
Let's move on. We have some mail sent in to us, and this one was sent in by Smoke Barbecue Limited, and they are a barbecue restaurant based in Carryduff in Northern Ireland. Do we
Nice.
have much island stuff on this show?
Not Northern Ireland.
No, I don't think so either. So they said, this is Tiny Tim, the only 1,000-gallon smoker on the island of Ireland.
Yeah, right.
She's chock-a-block.
She is chock-a-block, mate.
So they say it's helping us push out over a ton of meat a week. We are only physically open 23 hours a week. We have a pitmaster in all night and run a 24-hour cooking operation over the weekend to ensure everything is cooked daily and cooked fresh.
Nice.
They got that thing loaded.
Fucking oath they have.
So it was imported to Ireland after being custom built in Texas, and they burn local oak sourced from just 40 miles from the restaurant. I mean, when it comes to timber used in barbecue, you got to use what's local to you, right?
That's exactly right.
So I think when people sort of started to get into barbecue, they felt like they had to import woods, but no, you just use what's local to you.
Bloody oath you do.
So it's 850 kilos of pure steel, and they had to remove the door frames and the stairs to get it in. What an effort.
Bloody oath.
So they also use a Leviathan Arcadian fire cage to cook in the kitchen too, and you can find out more at smokebarbecue.co.uk.
Hell yeah.
Failed or nailed?
Let's go.
I love this segment.
Jesus. That looks like a dick. Look, from the first viewpoint, I'd have to say it's a bit of a visual fail, but hey, prove me wrong.
Rightio, it was sent in to us by Oz Z, and he says, hey guys, I spent most of my day making these things. They kind of look like dicks. Did you want to see how they turned out?
Yes, please.
So I think he's showing off a little bit here if they look like dicks, right? So for the record, are these failed or nailed?
Straight off the bat sort of thing. They look a bit failed, but I'm ready to change it.
All right, they're jalapenos filled with Mexican cheese and topped with streaky bacon. And he says, I got some fresh chorizo, removed the mince from the casing and put the mince around the jalapeno and then wrapped them in chicken skin seasoned with Lane's honey sriracha. And then I smoked it with iron bark on the M1 grills.
So he's basically made almost an armadillo egg and taken another step with that chicken skin. I'd like to change my answer to nailed.
Yeah, and I didn't mention this, but he's got it stuffed with cheese, yeah?
Yep.
All right, this is what they look like at the end. Great colour. Served Lorena Bobbitt style.
Yes, that's a definite nailed now.
Yeah, sensational. I love the way he's got the colour on there from the lanes.
And that chicken skin, hopefully it's crisped right up. That's almost a fancy sausage, isn't it?
Chicken skin, chorizo, jalapeno, cheese.
A whole lot of work for a whole lot of reward.
Let's move on. Now, this one might be a trap, but it also might not be. It was posted by GX Killer, and he says, bone-in ribeye hung in a drum.
Definitely nailed. You can tell they've been reverse seared because the bone has started to protrude down the bottom there. The meat's pulled back a bit, so it's
a thick cut, though.
It is a thick cut. That doesn't happen real quick. So there's more than just a sear going on there.
Rightio, this is the outcome, and it was seasoned with Goldie's brisket rub about 6 hours before cooking, and then he left them uncovered in the fridge to cure. This is a bit of a new thing where people are getting their steaks, seasoning them, and then leaving them on a wire rack inside the fridge for sort of 5 to 6 hours to kind of dry out a little bit before they cook them, and it helps with the char.
I'm a definite fan of it.
But after that, he fired up the Gateway drum smoker to about 285 degrees Fahrenheit. He drilled a hole in the bones to allow for the hanging, and then he pulled them when the internal temperature reached 117 degrees Fahrenheit. It didn't take very long, he said, maybe 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, right. And then he seared them on a cast iron pan or something, has he?
He said he let them rest for 10 minutes and then seared them over charcoal on a Weber kettle. And that looks like steak done perfectly.
Yeah, that's it. I don't care what your doneness is. If it's tender and flavourful, I'm all about it.
Well, he's got a perfect coast-to-coast pink there and a beautiful char on the outside.
That's it. And that bone, someone's going to have to fight me for that.
That's the best bit.
Bloody oath it is. Dog doesn't get that.
What about this next one here? It was posted by Philip White, and what is it, failed or nailed?
To me, this is nailed.
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 Pretty sad-looking brisket.
It is, mate, but I know what's going on.
He said, anyone tried All Saints brisket dinner in Fort Worth? I was really surprised that it tasted pretty good for hospital food. There was just not enough of it. All Saints is a hospital and they're serving brisket. A hospital in Texas is serving brisket.
Yeah, look, it does look a little bit on the sad side, but if you've just had an operation, you're never in hospital for a good reason. If you're getting served this, I reckon this could lift your spirit, aid in the recovery. It looks like he's got himself a nice cold iced tea there to wash it all down with, and I'd be pretty happy. I just wouldn't be using that Heinz barbecue sauce myself.
Well, it's dry enough. You might need to wash it down with something.
Yeah, you just pour a bit of tea on it, mate. Dunk it in your tea.
Well, look, if I was in hospital and I got served brisket, even if it does look this sad, I'd be pretty happy about it.
Mate, it's still better than my first brisket.
My brisket wasn't even edible. Let's move on to Meet the Pitmaster. And this one was nominated by a friend of the show, and his name is Ed Riley. And he says, hey guys, I've got a legit but overlooked barbecue joint that folks might like. Meet Drew from Scotch Bonnet Jamaican Restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, USA.
In the Peachtree State.
He's a cool looking cat.
He is.
So his smoked oxtails and jerk chicken are slowly smoked on his homemade pit, complete with a hot water heater and a convection system. The word barbecue originally comes from the Native Americans living in the Caribbean 500 years ago, so this is as close as it gets to OG barbecue.
Wow, that's cool.
Drew has been smoking his authentic Jamaican barbecue for over 2 decades in Atlanta's East Side. He uses a combination of wood, including hickory, and wait for it, eucalyptus.
Yeah, right.
Smoke is a different ingredient. Different woods produce different flavors. Eucalyptus is a weird one for me. A, I didn't know they even had it in Atlanta. And then B, on top of that, we don't really use it in Australia because it's such a really strong smell.
Yeah, it is. But also, too, I think there's a couple of hundred different varieties of eucalyptus in the world. So it might be a more mild one, but it's definitely a hardwood.
But what I would say is he's not doing a lot of the stuff low and slow like traditional low and slow barbecue. It's probably somewhere in the middle. Like it's still low and slow, but it's a bit of grilling too. So maybe that smoke penetration just doesn't hit it as much.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So Scotch Bonnet is a small business, and right now they can use any help they can get. He says, I love to support local. I have no affiliation, he says, with them aside from being a customer.
Yeah, cool. And that's what we're all about here, sharing the love, showing love for guys that might be doing it tough, but yeah, keeping it local too.
So this is some of the food food and smoked oxtails. I feel like we need to see more of this in barbecue.
Yeah, I've seen a few popping up a little bit. I think Tony Ramirez, TFTI, did some oxtail the other day. Pretty keen to try it.
I want to say too that Cafe Barbecue started doing it the other day too.
Yeah, you're right.
The story doesn't stop there. He also asked us, is there any chance you know Joel or Dave from the Weber Kettle Club? They both live in Australia. I collected vintage Weber grills. I sent the first vintage yellow Weber grill ever to hit Australia, and that was over 20 years ago. Do you know this guy?
We don't know this guy, no.
I've met Joel, but I don't think I've ever met Dave.
No, I've met Golly.
Golly, yeah. Well, it doesn't ring a bell. Does this ring a bell?
That rings a bell. That's our boy Golly. Of course I know him. He broke into my yard just before Christmas and put full throttle pies in my fridge.
What a mate.
What a legend.
And look at that sexy photo.
Yeah, mate. But you know what's crazy about that photo? That was taken at the ranch way back in the day, and that pond or lagoon is no longer there. That's now where we had the Invitational the other year.
Yeah, they covered it all up and made it a car park, yeah?
Yeah, filled it all in so they can have some big concerts and that sort of thing. So the wheels of progress keep on turning, mate.
This is peak barbecue.
This is peak mail.
It's all downhill since then.
It's exactly right.
Let's move on to Rate My Barbecue, and it's the online raterer of barbecue platters with the most experience of any podcaster in Australia from Tasmania.
Yes.
So this platter was sent in to us by Adam Fabi from Slow Burn Barbecue, and he says, meat, heat, and a whole lot of technique.
Is this a backyard cook?
I'm not going to influence you just yet. At this time, I'm just going to ask you to give him a score.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Look, I'm pretty sure Slow Burn Barbecue are a comp team. I'm pretty sure I've met the guys at Melbourne Meatstock. But, mate, that is a fantastic looking spread. You've got all the proteins there. You've got the half chook in the middle. Bit of pork belly, the way I like it, with the salt and pepper bark there. Nice, beautiful beef rib. Got a good bit of like a potato bread napkin up the back there. Heaps of veggies, heaps of sides, heaps of sauces, mate. You're up in the high eights. You know, you're an 8.9.
8.9.
Let's go.
Rightio, on the platter is smoked elote sausage, beef ribs, a half chicken with Carolina Gold sauce, pulled lamb shoulder, Texas pork belly, apple pie, moonshine, pork belly bites, mac and cheese, potato salad, American slaw, brioche toast, and pickles.
Yes.
This is a sensational platter.
I'm into this platter, man. You know, it's all killer and all filler.
So he says, to give you some background, the passion began in COVID. My folks gifted me a smoker for Christmas. The passion cemented itself really quickly, he says. I've been working at it ever since. With success has also come absolute horrid cook-ups. My first few briskets were diabolical.
Yeah, well, we've all been there, haven't we?
5 years later, I'm now the slicer for Carolina Smoke at barbecue gigs. I own two 24-inch Boss Hog smokers used as a side hustle. I want to take up barbecue full-time one day as I continue to upskill and work with some of the legends that make up this industry. He's still a novice. I mean, he's dabbling in the kind of professional world, but this is, for all intensive purposes, someone who fell in love with barbecue during COVID, and this is the level he's cooking at now. And if there's anyone primed to go into a professional career, this is the sort of platter that would convince me that you're ready.
Fucking oath, mate. That's a $250 platter right there if you went to a restaurant. That's going to feed four.
So, Adam, Fabi, this is your calling, mate. This is absolutely fantastic. I apologise on Sigh's behalf for not getting you into the nines, because that's where I would have put you, but still. Great looking barbecue.
That's it. And off the record, you're a way better cook than Nick. You were thinking it. I said it.
Rightio, let's move on to Art by Sigh and Fire Kitchen. This is an exclusive.
This is an exclusive. Got this one done at the end of last week. This was another last-minute request of yours to basically polish up the already amazing things we've got happening at Meatstock this coming season. But, yeah, this is the lineup for Fire Kitchen at all three events. So, yeah, reel us through these lineup of superstars, mate.
So from the USA, we have Nolan from B4 Barbecue. We have Chuds. I'm a big fan of this guy. Michelin star awarded John Bates. And from the UK, we have Matt Black and Sam and Shauna, plus Jared McDonald and Shani from New Zealand, Dark Side of the Grill from Canada, Daniel Lee from Brazil. It's a star-studded lineup. There's a lot of Aussies in there as well, padding it out. These are all legends of barbecue, and they're going to be cooking in the Fire Kitchen at Meatstock.
These guys are all in chronological order too. So you guys at the front are appearing at Toowoomba, the guys in the middle appearing at Gippsland, and then the guys at the top are at Sydney. Sydney.
Oh, smart move.
Yeah, mate. So you've got the little Easter eggs on the side here. We've got the Toowoomba Windmill, the Gippsland Happy Cow and the Harbour Bridge to showcase all 3 stops of the Meatstock roller coaster this year.
Rightio. Well, it's rolling in pretty quick.
And this is going to be merch, yeah?
T-shirts. And to be honest, they're going to be limited edition T-shirts. They're not available to sell for the public. But if you're a guest pitmaster, if you're helping out at Fire Kitchen, you're part of the crew, you know, you've given up your time to come and help out, you're going to get yourself one of these.
Yes, sweet as. A bit of a memento.
And maybe we should do the posters again that everyone signs. That was a big hit last year.
Yeah, the posters were cool. A lot of people were getting the pitmasters to sign them. And, yeah, some guys were bringing them to all 3 stops or 2 stops because we didn't get to do Toowoomba. Yeah, I just love it. I mean, I've got myself a half-signed poster somewhere just stuck in my pile of crap in the studio. But, yeah, super fun getting this one done. And, yeah, let's go, baby.
The Jack Daniel's Fire Kitchen is happening at Meatstock Toowoomba. The Saturday 12 p.m. session already sold out. It's a month away. It's 2 months away.
2 months away. But, hey, if you've thought about it, get along to the Fire Kitchen. It's amazing. You'll get to rub shoulders and meet these guys appearing, and you're going to taste the best food you've ever tried. There you go. Yes. I said it.
Yes. Well, you can also catch them at Gippsland and Sydney, and I had some of the best bites of barbecue I've ever had last year.
Bloody oath, same.
Ernest's chicken, drumstick, fuck me.
Yes, and let's not even talk about Bill Dumas's sausage.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
That was wild. But my highlight was actually Jared McDonald's brisket vol au vent in Bendigo.
Yeah, that was sensational.
It's crazy.
1 bite barbecue, but it's not really 1 bite. It's quite a big bite. It's about 100 grams of meat in each portion. And sometimes you eat something, you're just like, holy fuck, that's sensational. And I had quite a few moments like that at Fire Kitchen in Meatstock.
Yeah, bloody oath, same.
Let's move on to our recipe of the week. Tell me what we've got here.
Righto, mate. I've always been intrigued to try these and find out the difference between a biscuit and a scone. So this week we're going to make some buttermilk jalapeno cheese biscuits in the smoker.
In the smoker?
In the smoker.
Buttermilk cheese biscuits.
Buttermilk jalapeno cheese biscuits. Just a heads up, I fucking suck at making scones. So if these are shit, it's me. It's not them.
Where'd you get the recipe from?
Oh, I Googled a few. That's what I do. I Google a few, then I sort of mash a few together. And yeah, I probably should just stick to one recipe, but you know, it's that male urge to make things your own. Yeah, found this one and then added the jalapeno and the cheese in there, and it turned out pretty damn good. I mean, I'm better at making biscuits than I am at making scones.
Rightio, will talk me through what's happening.
I think what makes or breaks your biscuit is definitely your technique here. So what we've got a 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then about 1/2 cup of cubed cold butter. Then what we've done the painstaking process of just using your fingers and basically just combining the butter and the flour by hand until it becomes almost breadcrumbs, like panko bread consistency. Then what we've done, once we've got it there, we've added all our other stuff. So we've got some salt, we've got some sugar, we've got some garlic powder, we've got some baking powder. Those are all your raising agents and flavors, I suppose. Then we've added in 1/2 cup of buttermilk. I went way more jalapenos than I probably should have, and heaps more cheese too, because I'm just a killer for flavour. But yeah, we've combined all those. Now the trick for these two, which every recipe said, was not to overwork it at this stage. So you work really hard at the combination of the butter and the flour at the beginning. Also too, I threw in some paprika in there because it was just next to the bowl. I was like, yeah, that'll work. So I've basically folded all the wet ingredients here. Then we've thrown in the cheese, and once it's sort of gotten to, I guess, a bit of a loose consistency, I've thrown it onto the bench, onto the floured countertop there, and just folded it over a few times. The main thing, don't overwork it. That was what they kept stressing. So instead of using the cookie cutter, I've just cut it into quarters because there was way less mixture than I thought. Then we've got them on the baking tray there. We've sprinkled them with a bit of buttermilk and sliced jalapeno on the top, into the smoker, 420 Fahrenheit, just until they were done golden brown, and let's rip them out and see what we reckon.
This looks unreal. It's very dense.
It's very dense, and people think, oh, it must be simple, but there was nothing real simple. It was quite a technical recipe. I mean, there's a difference between cooking and baking, and this falls in the baking category well and truly. But also, too, you'll see that there's 4 on the tray there. 4 of them did not make it to the studio. I had to try one, and I was pretty impressed. Really nice, buttery, flaky consistency, while sometimes scones are like really gluggy and heavy if I make them.
All right, well, let's see if the smoker kind of added any sort of smoky flavour there, but it looks like these things are packing a punch.
Yeah, mate, they're super flavourful.
Bring them out. So you've already cut these in half and buttered them.
Yep, but I'll break one open.
Damn. Okay, and you've got a bit of a secret topping here.
Oh, it's not so secret. It's Jibber's hot honey, as per usual. But I'm going to shake it this time so that all the chili's not sitting at the top like last time. I'm going to hot honey the shit out of mine.
Rightio, let's go.
Looks deadly.
Dun, dun, dun. So do you eat it like a sandwich or just one half at a time?
I'm going to sandwich it. Don't forget to cheers.
I nearly forgot. Got the best job on the planet.
The texture's so different to a scone. Flaky and crunchy throughout.
Well, this job doesn't pay well, but it certainly fucking eats well. Rightio, how would you describe the consistency to somebody? It's not quite a muffin, and at the same time, it's not quite a hard brick scone either.
Guess with the way you fold the butter through the flour, it almost makes it a coarse pastry.
It's unreal. It's kind of like you've taken the cheese bread from Brazil, turned it into a bit more of a biscuit, and then added all these kind of like Texan, Mexican sort of flavors to it, and it sings. And it's got that crispy, crunchy sort of texture to it too.
They sort of get that crusty undercarriage almost too, and then they sort of cook from the bottom, then absorb the smoke. But I reckon we need to start a new cooking segment, and it's like, Will It Texas, and see how many things we can add jalapeno and cheese to, which is such a great combo, and see if it works.
Unreal. That's got to be, for me, this is episode 70. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full, but it's going to be top 10.
Yeah, right. Good little side dish. Imagine that with a good bit of fried chicken in the middle, dipped in some fucking mash and gravy.
For me, I would fuck the cornbread off platters, and that's what I would put there instead.
Yeah, right. That's a big call.
Unreal. Rightio, I could go on about that all day. It is sensational. Make sure you try it at home. You can't really fuck with it. It's pretty perfect, right?
That's it. And if you want the recipe, just do what I did. Google buttermilk biscuit, jalapeno cheese, and fuck around with it.
You didn't put any barbecue rub in it either.
I put some paprika and some onion powder, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it could do with that touch, but it is absolutely perfect as it is.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Top 10. All right, let's move on to our fuck up of the week and get this episode all wrapped up here. This one was posted by Hunting and Home Kill Services. They offer hunting and home kill services in Central Hawke's Bay, and I think that's in New Zealand.
It sure is, and wow, this girl lied on her PE sheet.
So what are we looking at?
You're looking at a very, very, well, it doesn't look like a fat lamb, but the amount of fat on this carcass is fucking insane. Like when the saw goes through here, look at that fat just turning to tallow, bro. So the heat from the bandsaw is actually liquefying the fat on this carcass.
I don't think I've ever seen a cross-section of an animal with more fat in my life.
I did see one of the comments, though, that after this video gained a bit of traction, and they just basically said, sell it to the city folk as Wagyu lamb and double the price.
So they said, as a home kill service provider, we process and we don't judge. We don't judge.
Fair enough.
Fat, skinny, prime labs, Wagyu beef, you name it, we've seen it. Would you make use of this fat girl, they said.
Definitely would. You get lots of tallow, but gee, there was some marbling through that loin there.
What are you using lamb tallow for?
What aren't you using lamb tallow for?
You can fry chips in it, or
if you do roast spuds in lamb tallow,
good.
Wow. Yep, throw in some fresh rosemary too.
Better than beef?
A lot more flavourful than beef, I would say. Yeah, I definitely fuck with lamb tallow.
So what we're looking at here are some photos of the cross-section. Now, if you can't see this at home, the cross-section of this animal after it's been processed and they're now sort of cutting it up into portions is 90% pure fat.
I would say that.
I don't even mean that in a good way. It's not marbled meat. It's pure white fat.
How'd this thing move?
So I know nothing about this, so I kind of went digging a little bit, and it's a little bit contradictory, but it's most likely been on a heavy grain diet, or it ate only spring clover or sugar beets and had very little protein, and by that I mean soybean, alfalfa or clover.
Looks like it drank Mountain Dew as well. Yeah.
So you might have noticed that I actually said clover twice in that reasoning there, but apparently it depends on where in the life cycle the lamb eats it.
Yeah, right.
So it either had really, really good pasture or it was grain-fed and never moved.
I reckon it was just on a really good paddock and it was so good it just didn't move. It just laid on the ground and ate around itself.
It was the only one in the paddock.
That's it.
That's the end of the episode 70. This one's dragged on a bit, I feel.
Yeah, so much for making them shorter, but I'm sure you guys love it. But yeah, still getting there, mate. We're getting really close to Meatstock season 2. So we've just revealed the Fire Kitchen lineup. That'll all be online soon for a bit more info. But if you haven't got your tickets for Meatstock yet, make sure you do. And good times coming up.
Yeah, and can we ask a favour? If you do watch these things regularly, can you like it and leave a comment? It goes a long way into kind of pushing the algorithm out there. But also, while you're on Instagram, that little share button's important.
Yeah, there's a new little button. It's you've got the love heart button, which is obviously like. You've got the message button, but there's a new little recycle logo that means reshare. Costs you nothing to press it. And if people start pressing that on whatever you like, a lot more different people are going to see it, not just the followers. And it helps just move things along.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to eat these biscuits and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See ya.